Hello everyone and welcome to this session of the Integrator Online Trading Seminars. My name is Shai Hafez and I will be your guide for this evening. Before we get started, let me just make sure that everybody can hear me properly, so you can please just provide me with feedback that you can actually hear me. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Too low? Okay. 1 second. Let me try and sort something out here. Okay. How do you hear me now? Can you please just retype again if it's still too low or now it's better? Okay. So I will keep something around that voice, and that's, I believe, as loud as I can do it. So if you're still hearing me too low, please try to increase the volume on your side, because I see there's a couple of people now that feel it's a bit too loud. Anyway, let's stop the poll and let's get started. Okay, and before we go down to business, there's a couple of administrative side aspects for this presentation. Spread betting and CFD trading both carry a high level of risk to your capital with the possibility of losing more than your initial investment. These products may not be suitable for all investors and are only intended for people over 18. Please ensure that you are fully aware of the risks involved and, if necessary, seek independent advice. The content of this webinar is the personal opinion of the moderator and not Intertrader.com. The content does not constitute financial investment or tax advice. You are advised to discuss your specific requirements with an independent financial advisor prior to entering into any bet. Intertrader.com is not responsible and disclaims any and all liability for this content or comments during the session. Okay, now that we got that one out of the way, let's get started. So this is a phase 2 webinar for what we've done about a month ago, which is present to you the advanced charting package and the capabilities to build your own strategy. I just want to know how many of you attended my last session on building your own strategy, so I can know if you can build on it or we need to start from scratch. One. I'm just asking the question here. Just give me 1 second. It's a simple yes or no question. If you can please just let me know, I would appreciate it. So, did you attend the last trading strategy seminar? And once I know that, I will be able to know. Okay, so nobody attended it. Very good. So now I know. Okay, good to know. And let's get started then. So I will start by explaining how we launch the advanced charts, and we'll take it from there. So I'll close the strategy center now and just show you the platform. So as you can see on our trading platform, we have the standard charts, which are just flash-based simple charts, and we have the advanced charts. It depends on the browser which you are using, but usually you will be required for the first charts to have 2 or 3 clicks in order to actually activate the chart itself, but that's because it has a Java application behind it that needs to be activated. But once you launch the first chart, the second chart, and any chart following that will be launched with a single click. I already went to the trouble and activated the chart. This is a simple euro-dollar chart which I've opened. I'll just go quickly on it. We'll spend 5 minutes on explaining the basic concepts of the charting package before we go to trading strategies. This is the basic charting package. You have the ability to use a cursor. You have the ability to, let's say, place alerts. So I want to have an alert if price drops below 125. So I put in price 125, value is under 125 for current period, real-time alert, and I will tell him I actually want to enter short if price falls below 125. I create the alert, and here you can see that on the screen. I can use the magnifier to look at a specific time period which I want to zoom into. I can create specific lines from end to end, which I can control every aspect of that line with this one. This one just create diagonal lines which are going to infinity. This is very good to try to identify channels over time. Horizontal lines, vertical lines. So all of that was quite simple. You could just go here and erase the lines. Yes. The really interesting stuff starts now. First of all is this little button there. So this is the Pro Real Trend horizontal lines. By building this shows you, according to just mathematical equations, where are the next support and resistance areas. So you can see that the next support line is on 125.29. The next resistance area is at 126.37, and the next one is at 127.48. So this is the support and resistance. Aside from that, you can also see the Pro Real trend line. I'll remove this one and add this. So this shows you two type of trends. You can look at the one of them shows you what I would consider a medium-term trend, which are these lines going up, and this shows you the short-term trend. As you can see, we have currently a breakdown below the medium-term trend as prices very, very heavily trading below it right now. So that's really simple. Then you have the ability to run a Fibonacci retracement, which I'm sure many of you know how and when to use it. Ability to copy line, displace any line that you have, so you have a line you want to move it somewhere else, delete anything, and just overall edit and modify the object characteristics which you want to have, which is more like an advanced function, which I would keep aside at this point in time and will not go into. You can control the colors and of course the time period. So this is a 1 hour chart. We can go to a daily chart. So this is a daily chart for the last 3 months, as you can see here, and I can go ahead and say, okay, show me the daily chart for the last 5 years. That gives you a much broader overview of that instrument. The next section is the indicators and backtest. You click here, and here it is. All the indicators you have ever dreamed of are here. Over 70 different indicators that you have here. All of them just ready to be used. Okay, so before we continue, does anyone have any questions that you may want to know about the advanced charting package before we dive into building your own trading strategy? So feel free to ask. This is the time before we start really diving in. Okay, I see one question coming up. More than one. The demo you're using in the web-based version trading platform, or is... So this is on the web-based platform, and it is available for all live account holders. This version is not available on demo account. Is it possible to trade orders directly on the chart? Good question. Not yet, but I tend to believe we are working it right now. I think in 3 months' time, 3 to 5 months' time, we should have this functionality embedded, and you will be able to trade directly from charts. And you'll be able to place orders directly from the chart itself. So that is a big thing that we're working on. Okay, more questions I can see coming up. Okay, just waiting for the another questions to come up. Okay, no more questions. Or is one, this is trading below the short and medium term line. What does it tell you? Oh, that's more of a big question there. Again, we're looking into the personal opinion here. My personal opinion, I'm short the euro, but I'm short the euro not from a technical perspective. I'm short the euro from a purely fundamental perspective. From everything's going on in the eurozone, you can see every time good news comes out, the market rallies for about between an hour and 3 hours and then dies down. So, and every time bad news comes down, the market just falls again. So it indicates good news don't have any traction and bad news have very strong traction. From the technicals, I believe, support that. So again, this is a personal view. I'm not that bullish on Europe these days overall. And I'm talking about short, medium, and long-term perspective. Let's get started. So, first of all, I will delete these and we'll start building the most simplistic system that you usually have ever encountered, which will be, we'll go to indicator and backtest and add a moving average. We'll do add indicator, and we're going to add a 20 period exponential moving average, and we'll have it in red. Here it is, 20-day exponential moving average on a daily chart. Then we're going to go into a moving average, add indicator. Well, this time we will use the 50 days, and we will make it sparkling green. And we'll make it a bit wider so you can really see, and we'll make it a solid line. I'm going to change this one to a solid line as well. I don't like this little dotted lines, and I'm going to make it, that's too wide. There you go. So this is very simple, and we'll close. So just to make sure that everybody understands, 20 moving average, 50 moving average, you know, we're going to do a simple system which allows you to say, okay, every time the 20 crosses under the 50, sell euro dollar. Every time the 20 crosses over the 50, I want to buy euro dollar. Let's get started. Indicator backtest, pro backtest, new backtest. First thing, backtest name, let's call it 20 over 50 MA. Actually 20 over after EMA. Now if you look here, we have 4 main buttons and then another 2. So overall you will be requested to insert as much as 6 different items, which each of them will have different parameters. If you're writing anything about this seminar and you're keeping notes, so far no need for notes, but from this point onwards, if you really want to build your own strategy, I would strongly recommend to write notes. But if not, this seminar is being recorded and will be readily available just after the seminar, but I still recommend the notes. First of all, we have a buy decision, a sell decision, where sell is not short, sell is closing a buy, so that will be closing a position. Short, which will be going short on the market, and exit short, which is just like a buy, but that will be only to exit a short position. We have capital management and we have stops. Let's get started. So buy. So in order to get started, this little window will come up, and to add a condition, all we need to do is decide, okay, click on the chart itself, and immediately he identifies, hey, you are looking to do something with the moving averages, so that's very good. So moving average 1 is the 20. So the first rule we had, if 20 will cross over, and it just says cross over the 50, now I want to buy 1 lot. Yep, that's it. Now, another condition on sell. Now, if the 20 crosses under the 50, I would like, as I said, to sell. If the 20 goes under 50, I would also like at that opportunity to go short, which is just the same. So we'll go short, but as you can see, I need 2 actions for that because I just close my position and it will immediately open an opposite position. An exit short when the 20 crosses over again the 50, I want to exit my short position. So you have confirmation here that all the different scenarios have been defined before we carry. So just to make sure that I'm not suggesting under no circumstance to use this kind of a strategy. This is very simplistic just to show you the mechanism. Any questions on this first part before we go ahead and start activating our strategy? Questions? Okay, I see questions coming up. Shoot. The 20-hour and 50 period in terms of, yes, this is in terms of days because we're looking on a daily chart. If you apply the same algorithm into an hourly chart, it will be on an hourly chart. If you do it in a 15-minute chart, it will be on a 15-minute chart. It all depends on which chart you're overlaying the strategy on. So you can really use it wherever you want. As you can see, and actually you can still see, this is a daily chart over 5 years. But if you change the time frame, the algorithm will automatically adjust itself, and you will see. Okay. The next thing to do usually is to go ahead and press OK. And here you see the code generated. If you are, if you understand coding language and syntax, feel free to, and you understand the syntax here, you can play around with it if you feel comfortable enough. If you don't understand coding language, just for your own safety, do not touch the code. And we always tick this little button here that keeps this window open after validation. And this is just a sanity check that allows us to do before we go ahead and we validate the program. Okay, what do we have here? Let's start looking at everything here. So far, the system has only opened long positions because you can see there's no short positions at all here at no point. And our trades consistently lost money. But please be aware, nobody should be surprised of that. At some point we reached 9,900 and it just continued to lose and lose and lose money until it stopped trading. If we look at the backtest, the results, you can see that we've had 16 long trades. Number of trades is 16. 0 winning trades, 16 losing trades, no even trades. Trade accuracy is minus 9.98. Highest loss minus 10.51. So nothing really material happened here. So there's not much to tell, but let's start playing around with our little backtest here so we can actually make something of it. So we click on modify backtest, we go back here, and let's go to capital manager and see what's going on there. Our starting capital is 10,000. Our order fee should be kept to 0 because we only pay the spread. Minimal order fee will be 0. A maximum investment, I would say 100. Maximum unit per transaction will be 20% of the capital we have available, but it will use anyway much less than that because we indicated just by 1 unit. We will allow to reinvest the profits. Cumulative orders is that we will stop a stop for each order. So this creates in essence that if you assign a stop, which we haven't yet, to an order and then you open another position at a higher level, then the stop will be 100 points below the second position. If you say one stop for all orders, what it will do, it will just, for the first position, let's say you open at 127 with 100 pips at 126, then all the other positions will close out automatically at 126. I'm not saying which version is better or worse, I'm just saying these are the 2 options and everybody can do whatever they feel is relevant. We'll do that, we'll revalidate the program and see what happened, and as you can see, nothing has happened. So my view is that I believe that our algorithm is somewhere wrong because it doesn't make sense to me that we will not have any short trades, because you can see the 20 crossed under the 50 many times. So let's go ahead and start checking here. The first thing we'll check is say, did I actually use the right terminology? Moving average 1 is the 20, as we thought, and moving average 2 is the 50. We need to change it here to exponential, but that's a minor mistake. So we know that we've done the algorithm in the right way from that perspective, but something still feels bad here. So we'll have to look into the code here and see what we've done wrong. So he tells us here that, okay, in order to buy, we want the 20, which is indicator 1, to cross over the indicator 2. That's fine. To get out of it, we want the 20 to cross under the 50. That's very good as well. To go short, we want the 20 to cross under the 50, which is, we see the mistake we've done here, a mistake. That's 20 over 50. So that's why it never went short. So here's a mistake, and here's why the system didn't go short. So we've made a mistake by saying that if the 20 goes under, the 20 goes short, which isn't true. So we'll revalidate the program now and go ahead. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So as you can see, now we have much more trades. Now we have long trade and short trades and many more short trades. And let's see what has happened. So overall, we started with a capital of 10,000 and we drained it slowly but surely to 9,966, which is not that bad. But you still ask yourself why. So that's very small investment on each trade. And overall, let's see what has happened. 31 trades overall, 31 long trades, 31 losing trades, 0 even trades, and 0 winning trades. So there's no winning trades. That strategy is in any way or form a pure failure, because it is unable to even produce a single winning position. So that kind of invalidates. So if you ever thought that, hey, I'm going to try and make 20 over 50 do moving average work on a daily chart, and now you found out that that wouldn't work. So if anybody had an illusion that works on a chart, just to let you see that doesn't really work, at least not on euro dollar. Maybe on other instruments it will work, but on euro dollar you can be assured that system will not work. Usually you try to adjust the stops or capital management to improve your profitability, but in this scenario there is no need to actually go ahead and try to modify it. You have 100% losing trades, then there's nothing to do with it. So let's try and take this strategy and let's try to apply it to something else, because currencies oscillate and indices and equities tend to more move around in terms of to move around and more move back and forth, to trend more. So let's see what happens here. I just opened the FTSE 100 chart. Once I've opened the chart, this system was actually kind enough to automatically apply the algorithm. It already understood that, you know, I want to do something with it. Daily chart over 5 years. As you can see, the system lost very fast, but look at that. It made money in the beginning. Do you see that? The system actually made money. It ran my capital to auto to 13,000 and then started to lose money. So let's look at a detailed report here. We click here, detailed report, and let's see the detailed report. So, FTSE 100 trades. What do we have? Overall, we lost 5,552, profit 990, and lost 6,242. Our P&L on long trades has been positive 399, with a 990 profit and 591 loss. On short trades, we actually, this is where we lost all our money. We lost every time we went short, we lost our pants. So apparently we don't know how to go short. That's very, very apparent. Number of trades, 4, 2, 2, so 2 and 2 trades, 4 and 4, 3 winning trades, even trades. Now, as you can see, we ran this algorithm to the ground very fast. But now, let's start and improve our capital management a bit and see how we can improve it. First of all, one of the first rules, I'm sure many of you know. Do you trade without a stop? No, at least I don't. So I'm going to use a simple stop loss, saying, if I make 100 points, get me out of here. I also like to do a profit stop, which is basically a limit order. And I'll tell you what, a 3 to 1 ratio, which is 100 loss on 300, a 3 to 1 ratio is something that I'm not a greedy person. If you got me 300 pips, I don't want more. Just get me out of there. I'm smiling. Let's see a bit of capital management here. We didn't do that much. And let's see if the capital management actually allows us to improve our little algorithm here. Validate the program. And voila. 10,000. As you can see, sideways, got stopped out a bit here. Sideways, but as you can see, at some point when the market started to go sideways and oscillate, look at that. And as you can see, this is a 24,000 showing basically 140% return on investment. So let's just look at dive into the stats. Profit and loss overall 14,000 on 10,000 investment. Total profit 36, total loss 22. If I look at the total profit to loss ratio, 1.66, 33 trades, 45% accuracy rate, 15 losing trades, 18 losing, 15 winning, 18 losing. The trade expectancy is 439 units. Average profit on winning position is 2441. Average losing trade is 1228. So this is exactly where our stop and limit kicked in. You see? Our ability to manage the risk allowed us to take the profit in the right time and cut our losses. So you cut your losses short, you take your profit high. Highest profit, highest loss, average time in the market, average time between trades, average time winning trades, average time losing trades. There's abundance of data here which you can analyze to death. Overall, let's look at our long trades, same matrix, but just on the long trades. You can see our long trades have been more successful than our short trades. Overall, and then you can see all the different matrix on that. You can look at your order list, and you can look at the trades list. And just to let you know, we have applied a $10 brokerage fee here. So that's like a 1 point spread on a single single standard lot of FTSE 100. So that's really what you would expect. So if you were wondering, yes, commissions are included in the scheme here, and that's, as you know, very important. So one asks you, so how do I analyze what I did right or wrong? So let's start looking at what's going on here, and let's start analyze things and see where we've gone wrong and where we've done right. Let's get started. So we go all the way to the beginning. Beginning is a very good place to start. So when we started here, you can see that our first position we entered was here on the 4th of April 2007, and we took our profit in the 21st of May 2007, which is very nice. Quite simple trade. We made 28% on that trade. Everybody's smiling. Then we were quiet for a while and went short here and took our profit immediately here. So FTSE drop, got in, got out, done. Again, 300 points, simple. Let's see what about if we could have ability to actually extend that here. So we just know that we could have extended that one. Then we went long here, and we got roughly stopped out here. So you see, that really didn't work out as we expected. We went short here, got stopped out here. Again, didn't really work out as we wanted. Went short here, got out here, went short here, got out here. So this is, we made a loss and then immediately recovered that loss through a nice short position. Here that was a quick decision, got in, got out. So just by looking at that, I feel that we've applied a bit of a too tight stops here. I may be right, I may be wrong. There's only one way to know. We go to modify backtest, modify our stops, and you know what? I want to keep the 3-to-1 ratio, but now I'm just saying it from 150 to 450. Remember, our last profit was 24,500, which is 145% ROI. Validate the program, close, and nothing has happened. Let's see what's going on here. And basically it ran us to the ground really fast. Let's go ahead and see. So that was very fast. I've yet to ever run a good trading strategy like that to the ground that fast. Let's see what we've done here. Let's reduce back to 100, and let's validate the program again. Okay, we're back here. So look at that. I increased my tolerance for loss, but I kept my tolerance for loss the same. Increased my tolerance for profit, and my overall profit has gone down to 18,000, which means greediness is not a good thing. Being greedy does not really help you. So indicator backtest, sorry, going from here, modify backtest. Now we know that the 100 to 300 ratio appeared to be a golden ratio. There's advanced things you can do. You can go here and do a variable optimization and run 100 scenarios there. But I don't know how much that really helps. So here it is. We're back at the last one. Okay, that was a very simple algorithm. This is as simple as they can get. I want to stop on this one here. This is exactly the time, guys, to ask questions on every aspect, and it's important that you ask the questions now, because the complexity of the next algorithm is much higher. So you need to really make sure that you understand everything I've just explained here in order for us together to go to the next level easily. Can you change time frame? Yeah, absolutely. So you don't even have to rerun. You go here, you change the time frame, show me it on a 4-hour chart. Done. Reran. 11,177. 1-hour chart. Making a loss. Weekly chart. Making a loss. 15-minute charts. Making a loss. Apparently, the only place this thing works is on the daily chart. Don't fight it. You know, that's how it is, and that's how it is. That's it. Can you set it into certain hours of the day? That's a good question, Martin. Hmm. So my answer would be yes, you can, but that will be within the advanced settings. So if you go here and go to insert function, there's time functions here, and within the time functions, you will be able actually to limit it open only at that time of day or only open on this time of day. A very good question. Can you export the results to Excel? I talked about that with our friends from IT Finance, and as I'm afraid that the only thing you can do is that, as far as we know, you cannot do that. We're working with IT Finance, our supplier, because we think it's an important feature, but so far you cannot, but we will see what we can in order to change that. But that's a good question, Tony, and I will look into it for you. Any more questions, guys? Anything else? Okay. Okay, I see a couple of more questions coming up before we continue. I'll answer these and we'll carry on. Okay, guys, questions? See, you're all writing. Okay. So does this help identify when to buy and sell using AMA on the chart? Yes, exactly, that's what it does. It shows you if that strategy works, A. B, if you keep that strategy working, it will automatically create triggers on your machine and tell you that there's been a moving average crossover. So it will create a signal for you. Can you have trailing stops? Yes, you can. Modify backtest, stops, trailing stop, activate stop, and here's how you activate a trailing stop. So yes, you can have a trailing stop. Everything I'm putting applies to spread betting and CFDs, yes. With regards to the max investment when trade setting, you had it at 20% is really 20% of your account per trade. So Martin, that is correct, but I've also allocated only one investment unit on each position, and I know that at 20 over 50, that type of trade can only trigger one event. It can never accumulate. The 20 can never cross over the 50 more than once because it has to cross all under, and if it crosses under, I'm out of the position. So in that particular, you're right in essence, but in that particular event, it doesn't really matter because it will only invest one unit at a time because of the type of investment. Even if put now on 2%, it will just remain the same. Overall, we always say that, you know, we have the 2% rule. You don't put more than 2% of your trading funds on each and every single position in the market. So 20% is not a smart move, but as I knew that there's only the ability to create one trade from a signal and not cumulative trade, and I have a unit investment of 1, I know that nothing would happen. So what we can do, I can go to capital management here and tell him now is that, so that's a £10 per point position. But I can go ahead and change that and say, okay, allocate more or allocate less. Okay, guys, any more questions? Okay, perfect, guys. If you don't mind, I will go now and take it to the next level. I'm dropping that back test, dropping this 20 over 50 we don't care about, and now I'm going to use one of my favorite indicators, MACD. I go to indicators, MACD. You can see here a very clear example of what MACD is and how it works. We won't go into that just of lack of time, and we'll add MACD, and I like working on that one on the hourly chart. So here's the theory, right? Every time MACD crosses over or under the value 10, and then the MACD crosses under its signal line, I believe that's a sign for a reversal in the market. So you see it went up here and then it went down here. That feels like a good time to sell. So let's see if that notion, that what I think, actually has any substance in it. John Evans, what does trading dub do to the performance? If you don't mind, I'll go back to that one after we do the MACD just for the sake of time, and I would apply a trading stop to this one and see how a trading stop affects this strategy or the former strategy both. So as I said, this is a bit more complicated here, and we go to indicator backtest, pro backtest. So you see we already have one backtest here, which was always worse. Here. Let's just do a save here. I would like saving things I do, so I'm going to do them in the future. New pro backtest. We'll call it MACD on 1 HR, and we'll go to assist creation because we don't write code. We just use assist creation and a buy decision. You put your cursor here. And I want to say the following. So this is a more complex rule than the following, so please follow me. I'm going to say that if the signal line, which is the slower line, the signal line is always the slower line because signal is the moving average of the MACD. So it's a slower line. So if signal line value is lower or equal to the value of -10, okay, and how do you do and? I want to add a condition, so I go here, add a condition, so that immediately creates an and. MACD crosses over its signal line now, and here you can see match all condition. You can do match any of the condition, but I'm going to do match, so both have to occur. So signal line has to be under 10, MACD has to cross over its signal line. That's my buy decision. Done. Sell decision. Again, I want the signal line to be higher or equal to the value 10. So I'm going to take the other side of it. And we're adding a condition for MACD to cross under its signal line. Two conditions, hopefully we're all good on that. This is just for the sake of simplicity. I'm not. This system is a trend in different system. I don't care where the market is going, as long as the market will oscillate. This system will trigger trades. Successful or not successful, we'll see in a minute. But as long as this, as the market goes up and down, it will that. I'm indifferent, completely indifferent if it goes up and down, because what we're creating is a symmetric system. So, short, MACD, and just go faster. Now, if signal line is greater or equal to the value 10, and MACD crosses under its signal line, you go short. To exit the short, I want signal line to be smaller or equal to the value of 10 or minus 10. And I want also MACD to cross over its signal line. Second rule, all done. See that wasn't as painful as it could be. So we just created 4 different rules. Let's start applying some capital management. So here we can enter into one-to-one position, so we're going to be more cautious. So I'm only going to allow him to put, let's say, about 5% of my capital on each and every trade. Standard will be the same. One stop for each order. Let's do it in one stop for each order. And let's carry on. Stops 100, 300. You know what? That worked for us in the past. Let's go ahead with it. Before we go ahead and see, let's see that what we've done. We buy if MACD is, if the MACD signal line is under 9, yes, and MACD is crossing over its signal line, very good. We sell if MACD is greater than 10, so we get out of the short long position, and MACD crosses under. We go short if MACD is greater than 10, very good, and MACD crosses under its signal line, very good. We exit the short if MACD is less than minus 10, so a more negative number, and MACD crosses over its signal line. Unless I've made a mistake here, I think we're good to go. And let's see what happens. Validate program, close, and let's extend the period. And as you can see, nothing has happened. Usually when you get something like that, you know that there's something wrong with your capital management. So let's go here, modify Backtest, capital management. Let's increase that to 20% just to see what's going on here, because it may be that. Okay. We'll see what's going on. There's something a bit weird over there, because it may be that what happened is it looks at maximum investment of capital in terms of notional value rather than position per point, and therefore it just stopped me from investing it, and it does not take your stop loss into account. So you need to kind of apply your own investment strategy here with a combination of your stop loss. Aside from that, I'm smiling. This strategy has made 180% ROI in the time frame of 3 months. I would say not bad. Let's look how it made that. Overall, P&L is 8,949, which is 89% ROI. Profit is 19,000, loss is 10,000. Total profit to loss is 1.83. It's a very good ratio. 22 trades, 72% hit rate, 16 winning trades, 6 losing trades. Trade expectancy is 407 units per trade. Average profit on trade is 1,232. Average loss in trade is 1,790. See that? I don't like that number. my average losing trade is greater than my average winning trade. So now you know something is just not right here. But I think we'll go into that shortly. Overall, you can see that the ratio, amazingly, is extremely symmetric. I've made 8 winning trades and lost 3, both on short and long positions. But my loss on short positions, on long position, has been greater. So I always have. So it seems that I've hit my maximum stop all the time on these positions. Let's go ahead and see that how that looks like in the chart. So at this point, what one should do is analyze everything on a trade by trade basis and see where he's gone wrong, where he's gone right, and what has happened here. From just looking at it without analyzing too much, you can see that overall we were making money. We had a bit of a fall here, so all the way from May until 21st of May, from 8th of May to 21st of May, we had a streak of counter trend trades. And you can see here MACD tried to cross unsuccessfully, so all these area where the market was just going down, we were trying to fight the trend unsuccessfully. So that's maybe some room for thought. What happened is a really strong trend. But when the market started to fluctuate again, as you can see, there, as the market fluctuates and oscillates within a nice channel, you see that this system is making money. Okay. So, Tony, yes, that system now, if I keep that system as is, and here on modify backtest, I keep this little thing end date, real-time date, what that will do, the algorithm will continue to run all the time and will shoot out alerts whenever your trade has been hit. The alerts you get on the screen, we are working on activating, hopefully very soon, email alerts and even text messages alerts. But overall, the alerts will be, we're talking about an on-screen alert service. Okay, gentlemen, that's basically it. This is just building your own strategy in a nutshell. Nothing fancy. We didn't go into sophisticated stuff like using multiple indicators, overlays, and things like that. We didn't apply. There's a lot more that can be done. I will be looking to run an advanced course later in the year, where attending this seminar will be the basic of doing that. And you're more than happy to attend. I'm happy to answer any question that you may have now. So the first one is by John Evans. What does trailing stop do to the performance? I need to answer that one. I owe you an answer, John. So let's do that. Modify backtest, stops, trailing stop. Activate trailing stop. So loss from highest profit. So I will change it into points. In from the highest profit, so my top, I've lost more than 50 points, let's say, so half, trail my stop up. So you will never lose more than 50 points for my highest profit. And let's see what that does to our system. Validate. Ooh, painful. That just curved our profit from 18,000 to 13,000. Without looking too much, I believe that the trailer stopped so tight when the market just went a bit down, immediately we got stopped out. So modify backtest, that was a mistake. Let's try something else. Let's do a stop loss and extend our stop loss to 200 points, but we'll put our trading stop at 100 points away. So initially we allow ourselves going more in deep into the debt if needed, but once we got into profit, we're limiting our downside. Okay, validate program, and voila. So we just increase our trade expenses up to over 20,000. We're at 20,905. So we just increased, by using the trading stops in the right way, we increase our profit expectancy by a nice 20% there. So John, thank you very much for suggesting the trailing stop. Good job there. Very nice. Theodora, what are you using for MACD? Yeah, I just use the default settings. You can go here and go to the MACD and you can change the settings, but I didn't touch them. I just used the standard one. I actually prefer the 18 moving average, but you know that doesn't change anything. You can see I changed it to 18 and it didn't really change anything there. Any more questions? Anything at all, really feel free to ask any question you may have. I don't have a PDF, but you can have more on bidding strategies on the website itself. We have a lot of information on the advanced charts page on our site, and you can get all the information over there on really anything you want to know about our advanced charting package. You can find over there. Let me just give you 1 second, and I will find that page for you. Live charts, advanced trading charts. Just 1 second, I'll find that for you. I will just post it later. I can just find it immediately. This is the basic advanced trading charts page, but I know that we have a better one which has more information on it. Thank you, Martin. I actually couldn't find it. Any more questions, guys? Can I have your email address? Yeah, absolutely. This is my email address. I would like to let you know that we have special promotion and a lot of things readily available on our Facebook page. And I tell you, just if you use Facebook, just add us to your page and you'll get notifications of any of our upcoming events and also other promotions and daily market news. We don't post too much. We don't post like every hour. We post about 2-3 times a day, and we try to keep it simple, informative, and useful for you as a trader. So feel free to follow us. We promise not to spam you. Anything else before we call it a night? So just before we end, I just have one last question from you guys, one last request. If you can give me feedback of how did you find the seminar, it can be from bad to excellent or not what you were expecting. So you can please give me that feedback. I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys. You have my email. Any questions, anything, feel free to engage with me directly. Thank you, and have a very, very good night. Thank you. My pleasure, and have a good night, guys.